Hey, what's up, guys? It's Sean again. We are on the Tamara Wade Show, and I'm co-hosting today with Miss Alma. Thank you for being with me.
Thanks for having me.
Once again, here we're in the great Beaufort City. It's awesome. It's kind of rainy outside, but, it's going to be a great day.
I like this weather.
Yeah, and tomorrow, 3 inches is coming this way, so we're going to be a little bit of a big trouble because of the storms. So that's why we're doing some shows today. So
Yeah.
we'll dive right in. Today we're going to talk about Instagram and Instagram stories. So word around the office and even our office is you're a boss lady at Instagram stories. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that. And before we do, social media now is just a part of just about everybody's life, unless you've been living under a rock for the past 5 years.
It's not going anywhere.
Exactly. And what's weird is that different age groups gravitate to different social media channels depending on how they like to consume their information or their news or their entertainment. Because like for me at 50, there's certain channels that I like to see my news from, but then there's another channel how I like my entertainment.
Right.
And another one maybe where I like to reach out, right?
Yeah.
And I think everybody's like that. So, Facebook obviously is probably the godfather, so to speak.
It's kind of like a catch-all, a little bit, Facebook.
Yep. It's kind of the catch-all at the top. And then, of course, you got the Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, for business, TikTok, which I believe somebody I know sitting across from me, I won't say her name, just got her account. You don't even know your handle yet.
I set it up. I have no idea what my handle is. I figured it's going to be around at least for a little bit longer, so I should figure out what's going on there.
Since you're so good at stories, which we're going to talk about in a minute, TikTok's going to allow you to record there, but you can also save it and put it over to Instagram if you want to. You can post there as well.
Yeah, I need to figure out a fun and engaging yet interesting way to utilize TikTok in the world of real estate. It hasn't quite dawned on me yet. I'm sure someone out there has begun this.
Well, I'll give you the first piece of advice is start here in the office.
Yeah.
Because you got a good crew here. Even if it's just behind the scene daily nutty crazy stuff.
It's probably better for branding than it is commercial.
Because even on the TikTok side, more of the adults are putting out the content, so to speak.
Yeah.
And it's the younger ones that are consuming it. So, here's the thing. I mean, even the 15-year-olds that are on there, they may be buying a house in 10 years. So if you're going to be in this game, you got to go ahead.
This is true. We got to make them know exactly where they want to come find an agent.
It's not too early to brand, right?
Yeah.
and Gary, anybody that follows Gary Vaynerchuk, that's exactly why he's on there, because he knows the 13-year-old in 23 years, it's an entrepreneur.
He's playing the long game.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's wrong with not only some real estate agents, but even other industries. Everybody's just trying to get that money now, which is important to pay the bills.
You got to think of social media as like your long-term pipeline. Everyone's got their pipeline set up, and this is building it in the future.
Mm-hmm. And having each channel, making sure, just like you're getting to TikTok, you're like, well, it might be around. So you got to diversify, as they call it. In case one goes down, well, your eggs are not in one Facebook basket.
Yeah. Vine burned me. I was really invested in Vine, and then when it went away, so I kind of felt like TikTok was similar to that. But it's lasting a little bit longer than I thought it was going to. So I'm diving in.
And who knows? Of course, the guys make fun of me at the office because I got an account, but I didn't get on it probably till about probably 3 or 4 months ago.
Yeah.
And I went hard with it for about a month, and then I just kind of stopped. And then now I go maybe once or twice a week. But since it's still around, I may have to do the same thing. I got to get back involved, even if it's just for behind the scenes
slow
branding.
And steady.
Got to do it. So let's jump right in. Instagram, they're taking away likes. Because of our society, because everybody's getting either.
Well, they're taking away the public viewing of likes, so you're still going to see, obviously.
Yeah, you'll see it.
We'll know what our numbers are.
Yeah, you'll know what your numbers are, but I think
the compare and contrast won't be there, which
true.
I see both sides to that. I definitely, as a young female, I'm so glad I did not have Instagram growing up. Oh my gosh. Yeah, really glad
Same
that came
here.
around towards the end of college
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
So I get it. And then commercially, I do kind of see the benefit because maybe an account that is more popular, you can't necessarily compare and contrast who's getting more, like, it won't be obvious who's getting more traction, who's getting more views on the page. And so you're kind of evening out that playing field a little bit. So it's interesting. It's going to be, once it really happens, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
The main one it's going to affect right away, I think, is the influencers that are getting that real money.
Yeah.
Even though they can get that same report over to businesses or companies to keep, I think it's going to diminish it a little bit, which, I'm okay with it. I'm definitely okay with it because I think people put too much thought, like the influencers and the people, some of them that are just renting the cars, the boats and the bottles and the models, whatever. Mm-hmm. It's making it hard for small businesses and mid-sized businesses because they think that followers are everything, and they're not.
Right.
We're back. We've come full circle. Like, and me and Chris were talking about this morning. People have got desensitized to marketing to a certain extent. They can recognize certain things.
I'm hoping, crossing, fingers and toes, that this brings us back to the importance of quality content.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter necessarily who you are. And of course, people they're going to find a way to do a hierarchy. I mean, people are who people are. There's always a hierarchy. So that's not going to go away. I don't know how it's going to manifest, but it's going to be there. But hopefully it will shine a light on just quality content. If you have a great photo or a great video of a home, or you're just plain old funny, that's going to have, that's going to have value.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
More impact. And you say quality, because I always like to say quality and conversation. So rather than having 1,000 followers, you're better to have 100 followers.
If they're engaged,
absolutely. Because across the board, they probably have studies out there to show it, that the ones that go deep rather than try to go wide, because now that they're making it an even playing field, good luck to those that don't have creativity, quality, meaningful content. Like in the real estate industry, tell me the difference between you doing your Instagram stories for the real estate here at Timway Team versus if you were to be doing your story for yourself. Is there much difference to it, or is it just because of product?
The initial thought is just when it's yourself, you automatically know who you are portraying, the attitude that you're portraying. I've spent 28 years figuring out who I am and what I want to say, and I don't have to put as much thought into it. It's different when you are signed into an account for someone else and someone else's name or someone else's business is on that. So you're not you.
Chances.
I'm not me. Yeah, I'm not me when I'm posting. I am the business. And so you have to take some pause and think, okay, how exactly, what do I want the viewer to take away from this, instead of just, I think this is hilarious.
Yeah.
And, I'm good with whatever the reaction is. That's obviously not the mentality I'm going into when it's a business account.
Yeah. If what you just said is so spot on, if people though would take that same mentality and keep it even on their personal side of their personal branding, they would kill it. That's the biggest fault, and I'm a fault with that sometimes myself, is that sometimes it's better not to think, just to do. And Gary Vee talks about that all the time, but you're right. When you're in somebody else's account, it's a lot easier to go, okay, right?
Right. Or, if it's your own personal one and you have a typo or something, you're like, dang it. And then you just, you put your little, whoops, that was a mistake. And as a business account, before you hit that post button, you're really pouring over that and making sure that it is saying what it is that you think in your head it's going to say.
Yeah.
And maybe even you're showing it to a couple other people.
Yeah. And it's also, when you just said that, it's also a lot of times okay to have the goof ups like that, because Marisa, we were talking about it this morning, is that people have become desensitized to marketing and what would you call it, like the same as I say.
Yeah.
If it looks perfect, if it's always this and that,
it's really easy to
mean
just
as much. I think they
click
just
through.
did a I don't know if which side it had, is that the copy or the the graphics, the more plain it is, the more old school, so to speak, is coming back around.
Oh yeah, clean lines.
Oh, I'm telling you,
and less is more.
Mm-hmm.
Less is so much more, because I mean, and think about it. When you're on your phone, it doesn't matter what you're on. If it's your email, if it's YouTube, everything is ads. Everything is what's coming next. Everything is numbers. It's colorful. It's swiping to the next thing. Your brain is just inundated with images and information. Even if you think you're not taking it in, you are, and at some level you're taking it in. And so there's just something so nice about looking at something that's direct and to the point, and it's clean. And I think it's a little satisfying to look at, where it's the point is the quality of the image, or the quality of the video, or the quality of the product. Hopefully it's a quality product, but yeah, there's something so just satisfying about that.
Oh yeah. And for a couple of reasons, because just like you said, they're doing this. If everybody's just scrolling, that ugly picture or on purpose different picture is more for them to stop. They're not going to judge a company or person based on necessarily on that picture. But if you got them to stop, the way things are going now, you're winning already.
Right. Even if you just get them to stop that, the thumb scroll, and just
exactly.
for 2 seconds.
Because like at our agency, we know this is like the picture or the image. That's what makes them. Yeah. That's the first thing they see. And then if you can just get them to stop, then the next they go up to the copy or the text. They read that. If it's meaningful enough, then especially if it's an ad, then they know the next step is the call to action, learn more.
Yeah.
So stop. So if anybody's listening at all out there and want to take one tip out
less
of
is more.
Talking about this, less is more, but don't be afraid that you don't have to have a premium Canva account, right, to be able to get somebody to stop. If you can figure out a way to get somebody to stop scrolling, if you're running ads especially, or if you do have a real estate account and they're just scrolling, do something to make them stop. They'll then have good copy or text, and then you got their attention. Yeah. And then, as we always say, make sure you get an actionable call to action link on that, or even if it's organic post. So get them to stop.
What I like about social media is that if you do the work behind the scenes, then social media is not hard at all. If you, regardless of your product, if your way of marketing it in the sense of getting photos or taking videos and being creative in that sense, and you do something quality behind the scenes, then what you post, that's not difficult. It's going to speak for itself. Maybe, you have to be a little bit more creative about where you post it or whatnot, but what you post isn't that difficult. Right. If you overuse an exclamation point, then in a paper or in a paragraph, then it kind of renders all the other ones useless. So the more you put out there, regardless of the product, it kind of waters it down. So you just want that one quality thing, and maybe your call to action is all that it requires, or just the one little thing in the corner that's going to kind of pull eyes away from that main product, and you just look at the one thing, and you decide, okay, this is really important, whether it's just your phone number or it's just your link to your website or whatever it is. But just that one thing, it's your one exclamation point, because what you have is quality. And especially in real estate, that's going to be video and photos for the most part. But yeah,
because Facebook especially and Instagram is so inundated with all the pictures, the listings, this and that. It's good to have,
and a lot of it's not great.
You need to have that mixture in there to get them to stop is so important. I have people ask me all the time, well, what should I post? And I tell a lot of them, especially if they're kind of new to it and they're just afraid that, oh my God, I can't go from being not social at all to being on the top of the mountain. Don't worry about trying to get up here. You got to climb first. Put stuff out there. Just do.
Yeah.
And then the market will tell you what to do. So if you're putting out, just sold, because I know a couple agents, they got sold,
and there's merit to that, but there's a way to do that that is not, I don't want to use the word annoying.
Yeah, but if that's all you do, might not be a good strategy.
Right.
Unless you're the biggest broker in the world and it's happening for you. but there's a rhyme and reason. But if you put out enough stuff, like a lot of the accounts that we do, we'll go through cycles where we'll have a certain pattern this way, but because people get used to patterns on swiping,
right,
we change that pattern up.
Right.
Different style, different things. Still stay true to the brand and the logo, but you gotta just change it up, like we said before, with some random just craziness. I think we just put out some commercials for the True side on there, and it's a different pattern because what we were doing before, but they're funny commercials. Now it'll get some people to stop for a while, and then when they get in that motion, we'll start another cycle, because it's all about kind of want them to peek back over the fence again.
Yeah.
If you're doing the same thing over and over, we're all human. We're going to be like, oh, it's just another post from whatever, another post.
Yeah.
So we have to stop them. So on stories, though.
But that's what makes stories great, is because it's not on your timeline. It's not on your feed. You can if you don't love it, you can click past it pretty quickly.
Yes.
And it's not like an eyesore. It's not an eyesore on your timeline.
Yeah.
Or because I'm a firm believer when you click on that page that's branding right there.
Yeah.
That you get a really quick snapshot, really quickly. What is this business about? What is this person about?
Yeah.
Just based off of just a quick overview of what those first 6 photos are.
Yeah.
So stories are the perfect way to get out information that, it's not necessarily something it's not a hill you want to die on, but you want to get that information out there. Great way to do that. Great way to, and inundate is not the right word, but I can't come up with another one. But it's a really good way to get that information in front of people quickly, and then they can decide.
Appetizers to see if they want the meal. If they want the meal, they might jump over to the page.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So, and then of course, because you're good at the emojis, because you can put the little text, you can put the fire emojis.
Yeah, you can
all
do.
those things you can do really quickly.
The stories is the possibilities are limitless with the creativity that you can put on an Instagram story, which is probably why I like it. It's put the email away and you just have some fun with it, because it's just not that serious.
Yep.
And that's what's really cool about taking a business account and just doing something fun and doing something you can have a little bit more personality with it. And if it's not perfect, it's okay. It's gone in 24 hours.
Yeah.
And someone clicked through it probably in 2 seconds.
I would rather see one done half-assed than I would to see a perfect one every time. People love originality and haha, they goofed up on it like I did my story too.
Yeah.
And then they got that connection right away. It's awesome.
Well, especially when it is a business account, there's a human behind that, and everyone knows that deep down.
Yeah.
So who's the Twitter account, Wendy's, that's just hilarious.
Yeah.
Whoever runs the Wendy's, they're hilarious, and it's I want to know who that person is. Who is that person? And it makes me I follow Wendy's account because it's hilarious, but I'm also who is running this account? I need to know.
It's funny you said that, Javier. If you're listening. Behind the scenes, you'll appreciate this one. The Atlanta Falcons decided they're not going to have negotiation with what's the guy from Adairsville, our boy, the defensive end.
Yeah, they named the road out.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I already lost his name.
It's okay.
Anyway, his name. He's from our hometown. He'll find another team, but they said we're not going to have any negotiations at the end of the season with him, and a person said, I don't know if I believe this, what's the source? And Atlanta Falcons Twitter said, literally us.
Literally us
It was
at
so
the Atlanta
awesome.
Falcons.
Yeah, Vic Beasley. I'm sorry, Vic.
Okay.
If you're listening to this, bro, I love you, man.
Right,
Call
it's
me if you go. To
this is not a computer.
If you go to, please don't go to the Saints if you're listening to me. I know you're going somewhere, but don't go to the Saints. Whatever you do.
Yeah.
So they said literally us. That's the source.
Right.
So that's
the people who hit
That's
post.
what you're going to start doing if they start saying, well, who's doing your story? Literally me, Hama.
Yeah.
So you're going to have fun with TikTok, because I think TikTok's going to give you that little extra creativity to use their piece. And then when you get to post, I think you have the ability to share it over. So can't wait to see your stories on that. So thanks for hanging out with me
I'll
again.
try to impress you.
let's get back together again and do this again. Next one we're going to do is going to be TikTok, okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to give you about a month.
Oh, gosh. I have a homework assignment.
Let's see your TikTok famous, and I think they got dances for that. So, hey, this is a good backdrop for TikTok, by the way.
I'll do a lot of embarrassing things, but dancing is not one of them.
You can do it. You can. I want to see.
Not for the public.
I want to see Alma Seawalk over here in the corner. Over here in the corner. So, all right. Thanks for being with me. Thanks, guys. Another episode of Tamara Way Show wrapping up. Until next time, go kill it.